Jay, defensively, what do you think it says about your guys that you have so much trust in players like Zane or Jacoby Bailey or Jay Harris that weren't really even in the rotation in training camp?
Well, they just they come in every day and work hard and prepare, and you know, their roles have all varied to different degrees throughout the course of the season, and they've kind of stuck with the process. And I'm sure early on some of them wish they'd played more, and now they are getting more snaps and getting more playing time. So they've performed when they've been in there, and it's been a work in progress, but the things are moving in the right direction. So I don't know if I'm exactly answering your question, but you know, we're pleased with how things are moving along. We just got to continue. There's still plenty to fix.
Jay, I know every coach everywhere kind of preaches next man up. It's kind of like a cliche at this point, but when you see your defense, which has 3 offensive players playing on it and walk-ons and whatnot, what does it say about the way they've actually embraced that and not just say it?
It's been unreal. I mean, lots of guys are, you know, you hear about it at different points in time with other programs or other levels of competition, be it high school or NFL or whatever, where people are resistant to those kinds of things. And, you know, we have not found that to be the case at all. I think everybody really is just interested in what's best for the team and whatever we can do to put a successful product on the field, and hopefully continue to find a way to win ball games. And guys have really embraced that and endured it, and we really appreciate it because it's not that way everywhere, and not all players are that way, not all teams are that way. So it says a lot about our culture and our locker room, and what Coach Ash has done to establish that since we've been here, and the players have done a great job with it.
Coach Ashton at Maryland, one of the running backs, said that the Rutgers defense was really picking up on a lot of the tendencies earlier. Is that a product of experience, film study, coaching? What do you attribute that to?
All those things, in-game adjustments, things that you try to pick up on throughout the course of the game, communication you get from your players when they come back from a series, and you have a chance to talk about things on the sideline. You said it all. It's the weekly preparation in conjunction with what happens during the game and putting those two things together.
Jay, your pass rush had 4 sacks against Maryland. Their pressure is what caused that pick 6 by Kai Hester. What can you say about the way they performed, considering they haven't had such a strong season up until the game against Maryland?
Well, you know, we haven't had the sack totals that we would have liked. There's no doubt about that. But I think a lot of times pressure is underestimated. Hits on the quarterback that don't show up in the stat column are underestimated. We've been hanging around the quarterback and in the pocket a lot. We were just able to finish some of those things off, you know, Saturday. And some of that has to do with how tight your coverage plays. And excuse me, if the quarterback has free access throws or the coverage isn't doing what it's supposed to do, sometimes it doesn't allow for that pressure to land. But those guys really came out and played with unbelievable strain. And you know, I can't say enough good things about what they did. The 4 sacks are obviously what shows up in the stat column, but there were numerous other times where the quarterback, you know, had to get off of his point and unload the football before he was ready to. Some of those types of things. So it was a really good collective performance by those guys.
Jay, how do you handle 2 individuals in their passing game? One, Saquon Barkley obviously has made some big plays as a receiver out of the backfield, and then the tight end, probably the best one you guys have played so far. What do you have to do there to match up with him?
Well, the tight end's a matchup problem because he runs well. He's so tall and so long. He's got such a big catch radius. You know, you see him throw footballs up in the air to the guy, and he just goes and he outjumps people. It's like going after a rebound almost. So, you know, you have to mix coverages. You can't just sit in one thing. And you have to try to mix your matchups too as best you can. And some of that's going to be dependent on the down and distance, and whether it's a first, second down deal or a third down deal, those types of things. You know, and you have limited options usually on what your coverage flexibility is with a running back, provided he's in the backfield and not out in the slot. Usually that's going to come down to a linebacker or defensive end. Occasionally, again, on a third down, you could put a safety on him depending on what you're trying to do with your defense. But we're going to have to mix that up, and guys are going to have to understand, you know, what kind of routes these guys are running from where they're lined up and just be really well schooled up and prepared. And again, it's going to somewhat go back to our ability to pressure the quarterback too and not give him a lot of time to throw.
Jay, with Brandon Russell, what is he doing well that you like to use him with more of those two back or two tight end sets? What's he doing well at linebacker?
Again, we talked about this last week after the Michigan game. He's just a bigger body. He brings a little more physicality to that position just because he's 30 pounds bigger than Ross. And he does have good movement skills. He has a good grasp of our system and a knowledge of his assignments. So again, it's more situational. And, I think it just benefits Ross to, if it's an 80-snap game, collectively for us as a defense, he's going to be a better football player if he doesn't have to play all 80 of those plays.